Hi, this is Brad Willis. I'm the moderator of the MetalStorm fan group, which is located at www.facebook.com/groups/MetalStorm fan group. And I was speaking briefly in a slightly lower octave because a couple people said that I had a high voice, but I don't know. It is what it is, I suppose. So I guess I'll just speak like myself. If you have an interest in the group, check us out on Facebook. We have 300 some odd members, a lot of outstanding individuals, outstanding players, and you can pick up a lot of excellent technique as well as getting to know some of the people that are probably often your opponents. Today we're going to do a review on Quicksilver, and Quicksilver is one of 6 planes, I believe it is, that was released yesterday as part of the 5.2 version of MetalStorm Online. It was their most recent update, and I purchased 2 of the 6 planes, this being one. I also bought Condor, which is a defense class plane that I might use occasionally for survival, but this plane is potentially suitable for use in Versus, or I guess you could use it in survival as well. I want to talk a little about the plane, its characteristics, its handling, try to help you to make a good decision in terms of whether it's something that you might want to buy for yourself and spend your hard-earned coins and medals on. Now, when I first tried this plane yesterday, I frankly didn't like it. I've flown it a bit since then. I'm starting to like it a little bit more. I don't love it, okay, but I think it is probably an above average weapons class plane. Let's talk a little bit about it, how to fly it, and again the characteristics and statistics of the plane. Now you look at the first stat off to the left, you see the overheat limit is plus 12. That means, of course, that when you're using your cannon, they will not overheat and lock up quite as quickly as a plane that doesn't have this statistic. For most people, this is not a very important statistic. I think most individuals, including myself, would have picked something different, but no one asked us for our opinion. It's there, and hopefully it will help someone or other at some point. It will certainly help a player that is heavy on the cannon and that is very proficient in that area. That's not me. I think I'm just okay on the cannon, to tell you the truth. But you go down to the next category, damage at a plus 12 is certainly respectable. Best in class is 17 with Sentinel, but most people would say that you can do plenty of damage with a plus 12 damage statistic. Agility, best in class at plus 15. The old best in class was the Sky Demon. I personally think Sky Demon feels more agile than this plane, even though it has 1% less agility, because it also has a very strong speed boost, and this does not. So even though this plane may move around a little bit better than Sky Demon, again, the agility doesn't seem, at least to me, as good as Sky Demon. And then the last stat is a plus 10 in terms of armor, which of course means that you're not going to suffer quite as much damage when you do get hit. Now, speaking of speed, that is going to be one statistic you're going to notice that is not shown. And so what that means is that this ties with the other slowest weapons class planes in the fleet. So again, you cannot fly this like a Sky Demon, and sometimes that's a problem I have because I want to utilize that speed. Well, guess what? It's not there. So you can't do that. You have to play within the plane, and that means this is a plane that you're going to play at a little bit slower pace. And I'll show you another statistic that is missing is, of course, energy. And so, sometimes, especially when we utilize weapons class planes, well, I guess agility too, you want to maneuver and flip and spin and that sort of thing. But with the plane without an energy boost, you can't do that because you'll run out of energy. Now, there is good news, and the good news is that because your agility level is very high, you don't actually need to maneuver as much as you do with other planes. In other words, you don't have to do flips and rolls necessarily to get into position. You can point the nose where you want it, and you can often gain target acquisition that way. Now, this is not an agility plane, so you're not going to have the agility that generally most agility planes are going to have. But I think you'll be surprised in many cases, and so will your opponents, at how good the agility is. Now, having said all of this, I think we should play a game. And what I'm going to do while I'm playing is I will discuss what I think of the plane, of my plane. I'll discuss my opponent. I'll discuss my opponent's tactics. And I'll also tell you a little bit about my tactics and what I'm trying to accomplish. So let's go ahead and get to it. We're going to click on Play Now, and we'll go to the Versus Mode Auto Match. And let's see who pops up. Hopefully we'll get an opponent here relatively quickly. And we are waiting for connection. And we will just give it another moment, and if it doesn't connect, we will cancel and try to find another new opponent. It's taking a little longer than I like, so I am going to go ahead and cancel. And let's play now again. We'll go to versus mode, auto match, and hopefully we'll get a connection this time. So we are looking, and we've got someone. And this is, I think, a Nova with the new missile. So let's try to blow him up. And that new missile is actually pretty good. Now, I got a lousy spawn. He's going to get a shot on me before I get it on him, I think. And let's go ahead and come around and spin and try to get a good sight on him. Now, again, I hated my spawn, but what I started to say about that new missile, that's the new Matra, the new metals missile, but it actually tracks pretty well, and it's harder to evade than I thought it would. It's not as good as a Lancer, but it is better than Rams for sure, much better. So I think that was probably a positive addition. Now I think I got a little bit of damage on him, and you can see that I've got an advantage over him now. I don't know how he hit me with that from that angle. That's one thing I always wondered about this game, is you'll have somebody where you're coming up on their back and all of a sudden they fire and they hit you. But it is what it is. I don't have a lot of energy left. I'm just going to be a little more cautious in here to try to keep from getting hit. In Sky Demon, I would have probably opened it up a little bit more. In this plane, I don't feel like I want to or can do that because of the lack of speed. And I'm just hoping I can get him in my sights here. And there he is. Okay, let's see what that did. Haha. Okay, we got him. But I don't have much energy left, so I'm going to have to be real cautious when we spawn. And I got an okay spawn, and he's going to, yeah, he got me. But, yeah, that's fine. Let's see if we can go ahead and go up 2-1 here in just a second. So he got another superior spawn. He's going to get a shot off probably before I did. No, he didn't, so we hit him. Good. So we're going to go ahead and slow down, come around, spin hard, get target acquisition, spin, accelerate hard. And, oh, he put a couple nice shots on me. Good for him. Well, let's see. I wasn't expecting a couple of those shots, but we'll give him some due on that because he did a good job on that. Now we put a little damage on him, and he disconnected. I don't know why he did that, because he was actually playing a pretty good game. And, of course, with this new update, which is something I mentioned yesterday, when you do disconnect, you get an automatic loss. It's not like before where you can just enter the game again. But, you know, he played a decent game. He decided to give himself a loss, I guess, and we got 9 medals out of it. So that's that. So let's go back to the main screen. Gives you a little idea as to the handling characteristics of Quicksilver. Again, it is what I would consider to be an above average weapons class plane. It's not fantastic, but it doesn't suck either. And it is the type of plane that, you know, you or me or I think just about anybody, perhaps we could get pretty proficient on it if we kept practicing. But it does have a different handling feel to it than many of the other weapons class planes. But it seems solid. I'm not feeling, sometimes, you know, you have that remorse when you buy a plane and you think, oh God, I just wasted all these coins and credits. And even though I'm not jumping for joy over this thing, I'm not really feeling buyer's remorse either, which tells you at least it's a respectable plane. I'm going to continue to play it and see if I can't improve my proficiency a little bit. So that will give you an idea as to the characteristics of Quicksilver. And again, I hope that it will help you in terms of making a decision as to whether it's something that you want to purchase and put in your hangar or not. So I do thank you, as always, for your time. And if you're interested in joining our group, I told you where to find us. So go ahead and request membership, and I will almost certainly approve it. And I do look forward to seeing you, as always, in the skies playing MetalStorm.